So I know many of us are really impacted by the news coming out of the Middle East right now, in Palestine and Israel. I can say for myself, I did work around the conflict, peacemaking work for 6 years through the Compassionate Listening Project, the Bereaved Parents Circle, and J Street in the States, working with many peacemakers. You wouldn't know this from the news, but there are actually dozens of groups there of Israelis and Palestinians that work together, try to support each other, get to know each other. So the work I was doing was trying to help support these kind of groups. And my Compassionate Listening group, we had an emergency call on Monday where Leah Green, the director, has been doing this work since 1990. And she said, okay, let's go through all our contacts. This person was taken hostage. These 2 people were killed. These people have been evacuated. This rabbi is in prison for demonstrating on behalf of Palestinians. These people are having bomb threats. These people are on lockdown in a refugee camp. And so I know the conflict is extremely personal for me, but also for many of you who've been there, who have friends and relatives and folks there who you're worried about, who are grieving, who are just really feeling this. It's really hitting home for many of us. So I want to share this prayer. I've modified it a bit. It's from Rachel Baron-Blatt. So let's take some time, just come into a posture of prayer. For every aspiring ballerina who's now huddled scared in a basement bomb shelter. For every toddler in his mother's arms behind a rubble of concrete and rebar. For every child who's learned to distinguish our bombs from their bombs when they hear them. For everyone wounded, cowering, frightened, and everyone furious, planning for revenge. For the ones who fire missiles where there are grandmothers and infants, and the ones who send rockets towards children on school playgrounds. For every official who sees an attack on Gaza as just another instance of mowing the lawn. And every official who approves launching projectiles behind playgrounds or prayer places. For every kid taught to use weapons with pride, and every kid sickened by the explosions. For every teenager who considers annihilating the enemy to be their best hope for the future. May the God of compassion and the God of mercy, the God of justice and the God of forgiveness, the God who shaped creation in her tender womb and who nurses us each day with blessing, and the God who suffers anxiety and pain for each of his unique children. God who yearns for us to take up the work of perfecting creation. God who's reflected in those who fight and in those who bandage the bleeding. May our Mother, Father, beloved Creator, cradle every hurting heart in caring hands. May we soon hear in the cities of Gaza and the olive groves of the West Bank, in the hills of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem, in the neighborhoods of Nablus and in the kibbutz fields of the Negev, the voice of fighters who've traded weapons for books and plows and bread ovens, the voice of children on swings and slides, singing nonsense songs, once again unafraid, the voice of reconciliation and peace and new beginnings in our day, speedily and soon. And we say, Amen.